All right, let's start at the very beginning. Level 1, the raw talent. And believe it or not, this athlete is probably the one you remember most from your own school days. This is the person who shows up to the school sports day, probably in basketball shoes, and just destroys everyone. We're talking winning the 100 meters by a country mile. It's not even close. And the most insane part? They have zero formal training. None. Their victories are built on one thing and one thing only: a God-given, natural gift for explosive speed that leaves everyone else in the dust. They become a local legend before they even know what a proper starting block is. But here's the catch, and it's a huge one. If you actually watch how they run, it's a total disaster. Seriously, their form is a nightmare. Arms flailing all over the place, an inefficient stride, basically zero technical refinement. They're like a supercar engine strapped to a wooden cart. All that incredible power is just getting wasted. And that raw talent can only take you so far. Sooner or later, they hit a wall, a brutal one. They finally line up against an athlete who might not be as naturally gifted, but who has been coached. Someone with disciplined mechanics. And for the first time, they lose. And they don't just lose, they get smoked. It's a catastrophic shock to the system. Their one big advantage, that pure raw speed, is completely neutralized. This is the make-or-break moment. A lot of people think that natural talent is a golden ticket to the top, but that's not actually true. It's just the invitation to the journey. And right here, this athlete faces a decision. Do they take that brutal loss, get serious, and find a coach to turn that raw power into refined, world-class technique? Or do they become another one of those classic what-if stories? You know the type, the high school phenom who is unbeatable, but just disappeared. But for the ones who make the right choice, the ones who commit, they begin a transformation that takes them from a local standout to the fastest person in their entire country. And that's what puts them on the path to level 2. So that raw talent from level 1 finally got serious, found a coach, and now they've reached the next stage, level 2, the national champion. And this athlete is a god in their own country. They are the hometown hero, the undisputed king of the domestic scene. Year after year, they dominate the national championships, consistently posting times somewhere in that 10.05 to 10.35 second range. That kind of speed is more than enough to win gold at home, and more importantly, it reliably earns them a coveted spot on the Olympic team. They get to compete on the world's biggest stage. But here's where the brutal reality of global sprinting kicks in. When they get to the Olympics or the World Championships, their journey almost always ends in the semifinals. The next tier of speed, that truly world-class velocity, hits them like a ton of bricks. They're fast, but they're just not that fast. However, and this is super important, don't get it twisted, these athletes are absolutely vital. They are the backbone of their nation's 4x100 meter relay team. Their consistency and reliability are what bring home those collective medals and national records. They might not get the individual glory, but they are the reason their country is even in the conversation. Ultimately, the level 2 athlete is in a tough spot. It's the classic big fish in a small pond scenario. They command huge respect at home, but they struggle to get that individual recognition on the global stage. They are the gatekeepers of elite national performance, but they're standing right outside the door to true international stardom. So what's the barrier? What's the one thing separating them from that next level? It all comes down to a single, almost mythical number in sprinting, a number that defines your membership in one of the most exclusive clubs in all of sports, the Sub-10 Club. Level 3, the Sub-10 Club. Breaking the 10-second barrier is the magical threshold. It's the official dividing line between a great sprinter and a truly elite, world-class competitor. It's a statement. The first person to ever do it legally was the American sprinter Jim Hines, who clocked a mind-blowing 9.95 seconds to win gold at the 1968 Mexico City Olympics. And here's how it works. The moment you run that 9.99 or faster, you are granted permanent membership into one of the most exclusive fraternities in all of sports. Your name is etched into the history books. Simple as that. For a lot of athletes who pull it off, that one single race becomes the defining moment of their entire career. It's the peak, the day they proved they were one of the fastest humans to ever live. But here's the unbelievable twist, and this is what separates this level from the ones that come after. Getting into the sub-10 club does not guarantee you a spot on the podium at the Olympics, not even close. It's a terrifying reality of just how deep the talent pool is at the top. A huge number of the club's members, and there are over 200 of them now, despite having that world-class speed, will finish their careers without ever winning an individual medal at a World Championship or Olympic Games. It's insane, right? You'd think being that fast would be enough, but it's not. Their membership proves they have the raw power to compete with absolutely anyone on the planet. But being able to produce that speed consistently, week after week on the demanding professional circuit, well, that's a different beast entirely, and it's what defines the next level. Level 4, the Diamond League Regular. This athlete is the ultimate professional, the road warrior. Their entire life is basically lived out of a suitcase, jetting from one iconic track to another. We're talking Oslo, Zurich, Monaco. They are the mainstays of the pro circuit, the familiar faces you see in the starting blocks at almost every major international meet. And their defining trait isn't one single explosive performance, it's their unbelievable consistency. Week in, week out, you can count on them to drop a time somewhere in that 9.9 second range. They are a machine. But here's the brutal reality of being a level 4 sprinter. Despite being one of the fastest men on Earth, they rarely actually win. They are the guys filling out the lanes in those ridiculously stacked Diamond League finals. You know the ones. In a race with 8 superstars, this is the athlete finishing 4th, 5th, 6th, always just a fraction of a second behind the winner. So, what's their purpose? Why are they so important? Because they are the sport. They are the essential backbone. Without these athletes creating that insane competitive density, the biggest stars would never be pushed to their absolute limits. They make the race a race. They provide the high-level pressure that's required for record-breaking performances to even happen. They have the speed, they have the consistency. But what separates them from the next, truly legendary tier? It's the rare, almost magical ability to transform all that consistency into cold, hard championship medals when the entire world is watching. Level 5, the major medalist. This athlete has mastered a rare and beautiful art, the art of peaking perfectly when it matters most. They might not be the fastest person on the circuit all year long. They might not win every Diamond League race. But when the lights of the World Championships or the Olympic Games are shining brightest, they are terrifying. And the perfect poster child for this level is the Canadian sprinter Andre de Grasse. This guy is a tactical genius. He has a pile of Olympic medals, 6 of them, but has almost never been the fastest man in the world during the regular season. Similarly, guys like Justin Gatlin and Fred Kerley built their entire legacies by finding a way onto the podium against men who, on paper, were often faster. So how do they do it? It's not just about speed, it's about a psychological toughness, a competitive fire that activates under immense pressure. A championship final is a different beast. It demands navigating multiple rounds, managing fatigue, and executing flawlessly in one single winner-take-all race against the best on the planet. This athlete understands that. They thrive in it. Ultimately, their legacy isn't built on a long list of fast times. It's built on the tangible weight of their championship hardware. Because at the end of the day, history remembers the gold, silver, and bronze medalists far more vividly than it remembers the athlete who ran a fraction of a second faster in Monaco 2 weeks prior. It's a harsh reality, but that's what makes these athletes true legends of their era. But while winning championships makes you a great, there's an even more exclusive tier, one reserved for the person who doesn't just win races, but who fundamentally redefines the absolute limit of what we believe is humanly possible. Level 6. The world record holder. This isn't just about winning a race. This is about fundamentally pushing the known limits of human performance forward. Their time becomes the new North Star. It's the numerical benchmark by which every single sprinter, past, present, and future, is judged. But here's the thing that no one talks about. Holding that record comes with a crushing, almost impossible weight, a constant pressure of history. Every single time this athlete steps on the track, the world isn't just expecting a win, they're expecting a potential challenge to their own record. Every start, every stride, every lean at the finish line is scrutinized against the ghost of their greatest ever performance. It's a psychological burden that is almost unimaginable. And here's the most fascinating and often controversial part of this level. Holding the world record does not automatically make you the most dominant champion. It's a total myth. The two require slightly different skill sets. The perfect case study for this is the Jamaican sprinter Asafa Powell. This man was a phenomenon. He twice set a new world 100-meter world record, first with a 9.77 and later a 9.74. During that period, he was, by definition, the fastest man in history. But he famously struggled to convert that record-setting speed into individual gold medals at the biggest championships. It proves a critical point. A world record can be set in perfect, one-off conditions with the right track, the right wind, and the right mindset. But winning a championship? That demands surviving multiple rounds under the most extreme pressure imaginable. There is, however, one final level, a place for the rarest of athletes who manages to perfectly fuse both monumental championship dominance and impossible world records to create a legacy that completely transcends the sport itself. Level 7. The Bolt level. To get here, you can't just be fast. You can't just be a champion. You have to achieve a perfect, almost impossible fusion of three monumental things, each one historic on its own. First, you need unprecedented championship dominance. We're talking about Usain Bolt's historic triple-triple, winning gold in the 100, the 200, and the 4x100 meter relay at 3 consecutive Olympic Games. It's a feat of competitive invincibility that is simply mind-boggling. Second, you have to shatter world records by margins that were previously considered a joke, science fiction. When Bolt ran 9.58 seconds in Berlin, he didn't just break the record, he took a sledgehammer to it. He fundamentally reset our understanding of human potential. And third, you have to achieve a level of transcendent global superstardom that lifts you far beyond the world of track and field. You have to become a household name in every corner of the planet, a true cultural icon. Attaining this 7th level therefore requires way more than just generational speed. It demands a complete and total paradigm shift in what the world believes is humanly possible. This athlete changes the economics and the culture of the entire sport. They pull in casual fans who had never watched track before. Their performances were so dominant, they effectively ended the debate about who was the greatest sprinter of all time, while setting a benchmark that, over 15 years later, still feels untouchable. It's that seamless combination of a flawless competitive record, groundbreaking athletic achievement, and a magnetic, once-in-a-lifetime charisma that separates this tier from all the others. If you enjoyed this, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss next videos. Thanks for watching.